Okay, so what this activity is going to be is this metacognitive reflection. And you might have remembered one day when we were together, we watched a video. I should pull it up, but it has a lot of different shapes, and the shapes maybe look like they're chasing each other. There's lines and they move around. And we found that everyone made up a story to go with it, or at least almost everyone, that we make sense of something even if it's just random. And so we're going to do the same thing with AI. We make sense of something even if it doesn't really make sense. And so we have to learn to think differently when we're using the AI and use different thinking patterns. So this is to help you start paying attention to that. So you're going to start, you can do this with two ways. You can do this with your AI project or with your blog post. So one or the other, you don't need to do both. What you're going to do is set up a screen recording. This is what I'm doing right now. I'm doing a screen recording. I'm using a tool called Snagit, but there's several free tools, Loom, ScreenPal. You can even just do it in Zoom. I put a link here to a video showing you how. You just want to be showing your screen and then talking. If you have a really hard time doing that, you could just audio record your voice alone. But it's nice to have the screen here too, so you can see what you're looking at and what you're typing as you go. Then you're going to start an interaction with AI, and there's some suggested prompts down here we'll get to in just a moment. And while you're having that interaction, while you're reading, you're just going to be saying your thoughts out loud. You're going to be reading things out loud. Anything that comes to your head, you're just talking it out loud. You're trying to understand your thinking patterns. And then when you're done, after you've had a pretty good, maybe 5-10 minute conversation, you're going to go back and play your recording and write down some things like when you make assumptions, if you accept information without questioning it, how did it shape your thinking or direction? If you stay cognitively engaged or rely on AI to think for you, I do that all the time. I start spacing out. And then you're going to just write a really brief reflection, 1 to 2 paragraphs. And then to submit it, you'll put the recording and reflection in your activity tracker. And that is this thing you have in your own. You have a copy of this in your own drive that's just yours, that this is not blacked out. And it's this one right here, the metacognitive reflection. So coming back to here, and we'd love to have a link to both your recording and your written reflection. Yawn, it's been a long day. All right, so here's some example prompts you might try. The point is you don't want to just write one prompt and get one answer. You want to have a conversation back and forth. So I'm going to show you this first one, and I'm just going to try to do it as an example for you. And this is based on this that Justin wrote, this AI story swap. I'm going to pretend like I'm working on this activity and I want to improve it. So I'm going to use Claude, and I did this earlier. I said, oh, I didn't do it very good. Let me copy it again. Must have not copied the whole thing. Okay, so this is the prompt right here. I designed this activity for students, and you can adjust this. I want to test how a student might go through it. Let's go step by step. You pretend to be a student, I'll pretend to be a teacher. And then I'm just including the link to this. You could upload a document, you could just copy text of what something is, you can do it, take a picture, whatever you want to give it that activity and tell it what it's supposed to do. Or you could just start teaching it. I guess you could try that too. I'm not exactly sure. All the projects are different, so it's always going to be different. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the example of how to do the thinking my thoughts out loud and the reflection as I go. So this is what I want you to do. Okay, here's my prompt. So I'm going to start this and see what it gives me. Let's see. It's testing activity. Oh, good. It's actually reading the activity. It's not just guessing. At least it says it's going to the, it went to the website and got it. I understand activity. I'm ready to start. Teacher, I've opened up a chatbot. I'm ready to type in the first prompt. Should I go ahead and type? Write a short story about a brave kid who saves the day now? Yes, sure, go for it. Kid, type it in. Thanks for asking permission. Okay, the AI gave me this. Jake Peterson raced down the suburban street on his bike, his blonde hair whipping in the wind. 10-year-old come to Mr. World's house. Without thinking twice, she dropped his bike. He could hear the cat meowing inside. Uh-oh, is this like a cat thing? Oh, there's smoke. He has to fit. The hero always gets the cat. I'm noticing I'm just like skimming through this actually. And firefighters came, and they got the cat to safety, you're a hero, and that's the story. And then let's see, teacher, I've read it carefully like you asked. The main character is Jake Peterson. He seems to be a white boy with blonde hair who lives in a suburban neighborhood with streets that have names like Maple Street. Should I write down my observations before moving to the next step? I wonder if a kid would really like have all those observations. Kind of interesting. I also, this is like so stereotypical that I don't know if I asked, like I could even try, like what if I did this? And I'm just curious now. This is just all part of my reflection. Like, is it actually going to do the same thing? Is it going to give a story like that, or is this like a special story within the story? I'm just curious about if it's going to give a story similar to that or not. So let's just see what it gives us. Oh, we do have a fire alarm. Oh, we have Maya. It looks like we don't necessarily have a cat. We do have a fire. Okay, interesting. We do have like more variety of names in this if the student does it themselves. So that's interesting. So that makes me think. So if I'm going to go back to this conversation, and I I can keep going back and forth. The thing is like I don't think that what the student would get would be this stereotypical of like Jake Peterson. So I'm just going to ask Claude, like, would the result of the story really be so stereotypical? Or like, is are you just doing that to make the story fit the activity? Because you want to give me a good story for what you see the purpose of the activity is. Oh, you're right to question. I shouldn't have assumed it would generate such a response. Let me be honest as a student B. I'm not sure what story AI would really generate. Different AI chatbots may create different characters. Yes. Should I go to a real chatbot? Yes. Please do it in a real chatbot. And so, okay. I can't actually open. Okay. So now at this point, you would go longer, 5 to 10 minutes, and then you're going to watch your recording. And when you watch your recording, you're going to say, oh, I noticed right there, I didn't actually read that. I must have been turning my brain off because I didn't read that. Or I kind of noticed that this was so stereotypical. If I hadn't noticed that and I've just gone on, then when I rewatched my screen recording, I might have noticed that. And that might have made me realize I was assuming that this was exactly what an AI would say. When if I go and test it, that's not necessarily true. So overall, what we want you to do is use this to help you develop your activity or your blog post and just record yourself interacting and saying your thoughts out loud and then reflect on them. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'm excited to see what you do.